ever meet anyone who worked with her?
No.
Did she ever talk about them?
Yeah, she did. She said that she did talk about it. She said she had some friends. There was a guy called Martin that she said she liked at one stage, and this was before she came to stay with us, and it was a guy that she was working with. But we never got to meet any of the people. She said she never really connected outside of work with the people that she worked with. She would always hang around friends from school and friends from her history.
Okay. Would you say that your wife knows more than you do about the Heather situation?
I believe so.
Why is that?
We're not together right now.
I'm sorry, you're not with your wife?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I believe some of the experiences were a bit too much for her.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'm really sorry to hear that. But she didn't want to come public with that. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Would you say that there's a lot of fear going on in terms of, her safety, the children's safety, that sort of thing?
Yes, definitely. It's a big concern. It's a very big concern.
Okay. Is there anything else that you want to talk about in terms of your experiences with relationship to the material that Heather brought forward, or your own experiences in terms of what's going on that might be useful for you to share with the public? Because at the moment, so far, I'm not getting any questions.
Well, at the moment, I'm just trying to do what I can at the moment here. I'm trying to set up stocks of food in case anything were to happen in the future. I'm just trying to prepare for it. Be prepared. Start a community, seeds and everything, plants, lots of plants. I got a big thing for plants at the moment, trying to get as many plants in as possible for oxygenation and things.
Okay, and why are you doing that? What is it you've been led to believe?
Well, I think that I don't think that the world's going to come to an end in a couple of months, but I do believe that we're heading for some pretty rough times. It's on the cards. Everything that we see is showing us that. I know nothing about chemtrails, but I see them every single day outside in the sky. This time last year, there was no traffic overhead. Now, every morning when I look outside the window, there's about at least 6 planes going overhead.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
People have made correlations to the fact that the chemtrails have metals and traces of stuff in them, and then you've got HAARP that can use magnetics to manipulate stuff. It all raises lots of questions. I don't have any answers, but I do think that things are going to definitely change. I believe that I just have a feeling that the life has gone on this way for too long, and now things are about to get shaken up a bit.
Okay. I have a question for you. I wonder if Heather ever talked about working with dolphins.
It's funny you should say that. Yeah, she said before she was working with the UNIT project, she was working with dolphins.
Okay. Well, that was just coming to me. So sometimes I get, psychic information come to me. So I didn't even know why I was asking that, but, well, okay, that's very interesting. Did she ever talk about experimentation on dolphins that related to the super soldier program?
Yes, definitely. She said they work a lot with the government's working a lot with dolphins, a great deal. I wouldn't say so much. I wouldn't say so much. She didn't say actually working with super soldiers with the dolphin, but they were definitely working on heightening the intelligence levels of the dolphins and genetic capabilities. They were trying to alter genetic capabilities, faster swimming, better sight, better vision. They were looking into the DNA codes. I remember she was really excited about it.
Okay, did she ever talk about combining dolphin and human DNA?
That she never said that to me.
Okay. Because I don't know, have you ever heard of Aaron McCullum?
Yes, I know Aaron.
Okay, yeah, I'm not surprised simply because I might have put you in touch with him myself, actually, now that I remember, but also because of Duncan, we have a network of people that we're in contact with, and certainly Aaron is one of them. Many people are familiar with his interview that I did with him that talks to some degree about that, the use of dolphins in creating some kind of race of beings, apparently. And Aaron believes himself to have been part of a project like that, as you know.
Yeah,
I
believe that's possible.
So is there any other things that we can touch on here that you can talk about in terms of the exposure you're having at the moment, why you think if the reptilians are still coming around and why?
I've asked John and James that question. I must have asked them 100 times. Why is it happening? Why is it happening to me? What's going on? And they just told me that the best thing I can do is work through it, endure it. And I honestly don't believe I'm the only person this is happening to. I believe this is happening to a lot of people, but I don't think they want to come forward and say it.
Okay. Do you feel like you're being manipulated by either John and James or the reptilians in any way?
I would never use the term manipulated. I prefer to view them as they are. I believe them to be guides, and that's how I perceive them. They've never abducted me. They've never forced me to do anything. They will make suggestions. They will make suggestions in certain, how can I say, certain paths. If I'm planning on going down a certain path, they can either tell me if it's a good idea or a bad idea. A lot of my friends, when I said I was going to do this interview to a lot of people, a lot of my friends said, run for the hills. And they said to me, don't. Just, you've got nothing to fear. Just talk. Just talk. Everything will be fine. And I trust their guidance. So, here I am.
Okay.
And I don't like running.
Well, that's wonderful. I have to say that, as far as I can tell, and as far as my exposure to you, is that you seem to have your heart in the right place, and you definitely seem to be, a genuine person. If you are manipulated, it's certainly not something that you're party to. And I think that in many ways, you're very courageous, and I think that there are other people out there like you, as you say. Unfortunately, what happens is that there tends to be a lot of laughter, a lot of derision sent in the direction of people like yourself. And I think that's why I wanted to bring you on the radio. That's why I wanted people to hear you talk. Understand that this story is an ongoing story, that it's not just going to sort of disappear into the past, because it's very much about our future, and we have evidence to that effect. So it's important. It's a very, very important story, and you're one of the